All right, Kal Halal, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders, a great millstone, and salutations and greetings to you, Akim, out there laboring and doing this work in truth and sincerity. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to call this lesson, but it's pretty much going to be another exhortation, to you, Akim, of the faith, out there laboring. And, pretty much is going to be going into, laboring, being pretty much being constantly laboring in this truth, so that way we can get that reward, so we can get up out of here, you know. And at the end of the day, it's about being diligent in this thing, not sitting on a talent that you was blessed to receive in this truth, because you want to strive to pretty much fully yield your whole talent, you know, because the longer you've been in the faith, it should show, as far as the knowledge and wisdom and understanding that you've accumulated, that you've been in this truth for however many amount of years. So there's no reason why you should be stagnant as far as growing in this truth is concerned. As far as like, going into a variety of topics, or going into various different precepts, and the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua should work with you over that course of time to build on the foundation that you've already learned watching the apostle elders or so forth, So this is 1 Corinthians 3:11. For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. Right, because he's the chief cornerstone for the body of the elect, which us as the hopeful elect is striving to be, So we're pretty much, by being out there doing the work, we're pretty much laying the pieces down to build the temple, to rebuild that spiritual temple, Verse 12. Now if any man build upon this foundation gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble, every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. Right, so, the members of the hopeful elect, they're going to be purified unto fine gold. And our works is going to be, manifested that they were wrought of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So that's why we do these works in sincerity and truth, with all diligence, to make our calling and our election sure. Verse 14, it says, if any man's work abide which he hath built thereupon, he shall receive a reward. So if you constantly keep laboring, you're gonna receive that reward, which is the receiving the kingdom of heaven. It says, if any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire. So if you pretty much end up giving up the race and end up falling out this thing, your work is pretty much gonna be lost in this thing, because you done put down the plow. And pretty much like if brothers is stagnant, either due to having cares of this world, the things that's going on in their life, that's the scriptures call that pretty much being lukewarm, so that pretty much goes well, before I get that, before I get Revelations 3 and 15, I'll just go to my next precept first. But the scriptures do mention about being lukewarm and being spewed out, and you Akim, that may be kind of in a slump. You don't want to, end up getting spewed out, because I mean, we pretty much close to the end. So it really ain't no point as far as dropping a plow. Now is the time to really be on fire. You know, you need so pretty much pray to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, to you know amplify that fire, and you put that spirit in you when you first came into this truth. To amp that fire up. And constantly being occupation of doing these works. That's what Yahweh Shai said. Was to occupy until He comes. As a matter of fact, when you look up the word work in the Strong's Concordance, it says G2041. It says and it's ergo, if I'm pronouncing it right, and it says to work, toil, Salakia, to work, toil as an effort or occupation. This truth is pretty much our occupation. What did Yahweh Shai say? Until hold fast that which ye have, and occupy until I come. Meaning being occupied in His works. Pretty much giving yourself to, reading, studying, doing research, whether if you researching going into history or researching news articles, things that's going to be beneficial and edifying for the body. That's what your main focus should be, as far as putting together lessons, basically, adding or building upon the talent that the Lord gave you so that you can be increased in this thing. All right. So let me get my next precept. This is Matthew chapter 3 verse 18. It says, "Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower." All right, and the sower is the prophets out there, going out and sowing this word. It says, "When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received seed by the wayside." All right, so you get people that come up, some jakes that may come up and they'll hear that they're Israelite and say, "Oh, okay, I got you," but then they don't take heed to it, because they still got pretty much the God of this world blinding their minds, from being able to receive this truth. All right. And verse 20, it says, "But he that received the seed into the stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. Yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended." All right. So that's to men that labored in this truth, and as soon as they started catching hell and whatever it was that they were going through, they started becoming too afflicted to the point that they were ready to put down the plow. And that's not how the elect is going to be, purified unto fine gold, because the elect is going to go through that hell and whatever persecution through that, because we realize that through Yahweh Shai, we going to overcome that, because Yahweh Shai was the one who overcame first. So we're going to take our hell in stride and keep moving forward. This is Matthew 13 and 22. "He also that received seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful." Now, first and foremost, I really don't give two fucks about, this fiat currency, because for one, they're about to push this chip soon, and also, this whole Bitcoin shit that's going on. So the bottom line is, I'm only depending on Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to meet my my daily needs, and really, I could care less, as far as having riches on this side, because this whole place is about to pretty much be destroyed. America is about to be destroyed. It's finished, you know. And then when they pass the chip, when they pass that RFID chip to making it mandatory, which is the mark of the beast in Revelations, the 13th chapter, you know, and people are going to be confronted with getting that mark to continue on in this society. It's really going to be counted for naught anyway, because if you get that mark, you end up being destroyed. So it's pretty much best to detach yourself from this current world as it is right now, and to get more into the spirit, the spirit of knowing that this place is going to be destroyed, and that Yahushua is pretty much, on his way back here to redeem us, And when you keep your mind set on things above, that's when you constantly meditating in prophecy, It says, but he that receives seed in the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some an 100, some 60, and some 30. All right, so that's when you got brothers that labored in this thing, that received their portion of faith, as well as their talent, and then over the course of time, Yahushua purges them so that they bring forth more fruit, more edification, more spiritual growth, more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. The scriptures say the lips of the righteous shall feed many, and that's what the Akim is out there doing. Whenever we out there on the highways and hedges laboring, because through the Most High's word, we feeding the elect, with these words, so that can be sealed, So, as a matter of fact, let me go to my last two precepts. I'm not trying to make this video too long. Alright, this is 2 Corinthians 13:5. It says, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahushua Hamashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates. Alright, so yes, constantly examine yourself. Constantly say to self, am I walking right? Am I constantly, striving to do as I should in this truth? And you kind of got to be on yourself pretty much every day to make sure that your walk is pleasing to Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai, if you call yourself being a man in the faith. Otherwise, you're going to be slipping to the wayside before you even realize it. Alright. This is Revelations 3:15. It says, I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would that thou wert cold or hot. Right, so if you're going to be on fire for this truth, or if you just going to be a standby nigga, choose one. To you standby niggas, the Most High is pretty much going to end up booting you out the way. That's what this is pretty much going towards. Alright, so then, because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Because thou sayest, I am rich, and increase with goods, and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched, and miserable, and poor, and blind, and naked. Right, because pretty much, I don't give a fuck how much money you get in this captivity that we're in. Guess what? You still have to go to Esau in one of all things. Guess what? You still don't, if you occupied in, getting money and the riches of this world, you pretty much don't get that you're not in the right spirit of knowing that this place is about to be destroyed, so therefore you're blind. So Continuing on, Salaki. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich. What's that gold tried in the fire? That affliction of being purified, as far as being of the hopeful elect, because the elect is going to be purified unto fine gold. Okay. And the riches represents the kingdom of heaven. Okay. That's so pretty much, being in this faith and enduring in this truth unto the end, being purified unto fine gold, we're going to have knowledge stored up, knowledge and treasures stored up for the kingdom of heaven. That will be our spiritual bank account, so to speak. And it says, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. Alright, so pretty much, we put off, to those who have put off the mortal clothing to the immortal clothing. And that's pretty much by overcoming, our shortcomings through Yahweh Shai, so that way we can, spiritually receive those white garments, Alright. So, let's continue on. It says, Revelations 3:19, as many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous, therefore, and repent. So with that, to whether it be to myself or any other Akim that may be watching this video, what areas you may be slipping at. The scripture say a righteous man falls 7 times. So, pretty much just from here on, no more bullshit, man. It's time to go hard, man. It's time to go hard to the finish line. And with that, once again, all praises and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. And hopefully this was edifying to those of you Akim that may have needed it. Alright, with that, Shalom.